Mike Bartels.
Okay, thank you, Dean, and thank you for the work you've done so far. Before I launch into my own remarks, I'd like to just play a rough draft. I was hoping to have the final draft. There's just one little nit we have to make at the end. We had a last-minute name change of things. So we're just going to play that for you. This is going to be going up on social media sometime in the next few days, so this is something of a sneak peek.
I think that the administration is being sabotaged from within.
Spicer's investigation into leaks was leaked.
The leaker will not succeed in undermining the court's operations.
Well, I think the leaks are a serious threat to national security.
Intelligence officials are withholding information.
Control exactly what people think. That is our job.
We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us.
We are New Yorkers. New York is tough. New York is pragmatic. We are outnumbered 8-1 in this city, and yet we still have the strongest and most successful young Republican club in the country. When the DC swamp sees a problem, they talk about it. When New Yorkers see a problem, we fix it. Ready. So in short, what is the Manhattan Project? The Manhattan Project is a project to save this country from the problems I will articulate to you right now. The Manhattan Project is a jobs network. It's a social network. It is a growth of a conservative society within politics, within staffer jobs in Congress, within media, and within think tanks, built around people who promise to represent the American people as they vote and not as they are seen by the swamp. What do I mean by that? Let's get to that in a second. I actually prepared a speech for this. I don't usually do that. Thank you, everyone, for coming here. Thank you to the New York Young Republican Club for backing this project. Thank you. All right. Yeah, let's give them applause. Let's do that. Thank you to the various contacts of the different organizations with which we have spoken. Thank you to the internal team of the Manhattan Project. Many of them could not be here because they're spread out across the country, including those who helped us from Pennsylvania, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Alabama, Ohio, Arizona, and Texas. Thanks to my mom and dad in the audience for their support. And thank you. Let's get an applause for them as well. And thank you, obviously, to the great Andrew Giuliani, who joined us this evening. Now, I don't want to hold you forever. You're all waiting for it. So I'll cut to the chase. Democracy, even in the best of times, has always been defended as the worst system of government, besides all the others. Even so, Americans historically have celebrated representative government, the democratic republic in which we live, as the great marker of our nation. America was, and to many still is, the democracy nation. To Europeans and the rest of the world a century ago, Americanism, as a word, meant representative government. What is representative government? There are several definitions, but put simply, if inelegantly, if the people want to do something, their interests shall be represented by voting. Voting. This is the narrative pushed through our history, isn't it? When public opinion favors something, the government representing the people does it. Sounds good, right? What if a faction within that republic abandoned those principles? What then? In 2016, we voted. We voted for a changed nation. We voted for a wall. We voted to repeal the Unaffordable Care Act. We voted to end foreign wars. We voted for a government that represents the people rather than special interests. We voted for election integrity. We voted for a nation where our parents know that sending children to their schools doesn't endanger them. We voted for safe streets. We voted, we voted, we voted. What did we get? We got tax cuts. It's not fair. We didn't get nothing. We got tax cuts. We got some border fence.
We got lockdowns.
We got lockdowns. Congress blocked the wall. Congress didn't address the Affordable Care Act. We stopped foreign wars for a bit. But that's totally reversed now. Efforts at election integrity went dismissed as conspiracy theories. Our schools got more dangerous, but also more aggressively degenerate, and violent mobs burned down cities across America, mostly peacefully. Did we vote for that?
No.
Did anyone here, did anybody at all vote for that?
No. Yes.
As published in 2020 by Atlantic Magazine, about 55% of Americans, 55%, a majority, declared themselves disaffected with democracy. A tragedy in the supposed home of this system of government, that people now reject their core governing ideals. Can you blame them, though? Let's get interactive. Let's take a poll here. Who here honestly believes their voice is heard in Washington right now? Fascinating. Some would say this is our leaders' betrayal of their principles. Some pin this on Trump himself, Donald Trump. I don't think that at this point, but I don't think that a vote for Trump had ambiguous intent. Who did you vote for in 2016?
Trump.
Who did you vote for in 2020? Trump. And who will you vote for in 2024?
Trump.
And so your intentions and his mandate and the mandate of every Republican in Congress stands clear. But if all remains as is, do you expect that to change anything of substance? It's a tough question. No matter what our president and our representatives did or do, it seems sometimes that the culture of the swamp ensures the same result. Our elected officials rely on a network of staffers and advisors, and over and over and over again, the unelected DC network fails us on that principle. Trump is one man among an army of staffers, and even if he means well, it is the staffer's voice that ultimately is heard on Capitol Hill in many cases. Capitol Hill. Last week I spoke at Georgetown University, right by there, nice place. And there I found something that I found a little comical. In my Uber on the way to lunch with a friend, he couldn't be here, he says hello, I saw a certain DC license plate, and then I saw more, and then I saw posters, stickers, all with a slogan, presumably for DC statehood: taxation without representation. Are you kidding me? No representation? Your voices are the only ones that are represented by this administration. The Capitol doesn't hear us. It hears them. So how do we solve that? We can complain about problems. How do we solve it? The Manhattan Project is this club's formal acknowledgement of that reality, the reality in which we live. No longer is it enough to vote and pray that our representatives will do the will of the people. They need reinforcements. They need backing, and they need it inside the swamp. Many of these people are good people, but they need assistance. Seeing this problem, we're New Yorkers. We fix it. We will provide those staffers, not through a moneyed network or a shady connection, but with a stamp of approval of the New York Young Republican Club, with our proven track record of standing by the American people. Any legislator who accepts staffers from the Manhattan Project is a congressman who you know will stand by the people. Hopefully, with such a network established, we can ensure that our voice is finally heard on that hill. Let's go further, though. Are state capitals any better? Albany, do you hear us? I understand the sound's a bit out. Maybe it's projecting that loudly. Kathy Hochul, do you hear us? I don't think they hear us, but they will soon, and that's for sure. This project is advertised as a jobs and social network for conservatives looking to break into government. That's what it is. That's correct, but it's more than that. Our nation is in danger because of the ideal of representation that breeds only silence. Voting is necessary, but not sufficient. The left and the multinational corporate interests that dominate Washington have abandoned the principle of representative government. That's unfortunate. But so we must take it back. This goes beyond government, by the way. Lobbying groups which claim to speak for the people, we're looking at you. Reporting agencies, news agencies that claim to speak for the people, we're looking at you. Literally, I'm looking at you. You're in the back there. These people must step up and prove that they say what they actually do. Will policymakers and opinion makers step up and prove their devotion to representative government? Or will they snub this initiative, showing that the voices they're representing are only in their capital cities? We, the people, are here. We, the people, have spoken. Have we spoken?
Yes.
We, the people, are waiting for their response. And it is on that note that I would like to introduce the illustrious, the magnificent Andrew Giuliani.